The only time I've had a really dicey moment with flash paper was when I accidentally lit a banquet table on fire. I'll be honest, I was like, do I quickly finish this routine or do we deal with the fire now or what do we do? And
they're guys. They do magic. They are the Magic Guys.
Yo, what's up, everybody? It's me, your boy, Jason Ma. Yeah, and, Josh is here too. What up?
And we're back. For a while. For a second, we thought we weren't going to get this podcast out in time.
No. We were always going to get it out in time. It's like we planned on filming it on Thursday, but I had this, raging headache.
Rona.
I'm over, you're like, hey, bro, how's the drink taste? Can you smell that? Can you smell that, dude? Yeah. Smell what? Rona.
Bro, the house is on fire. You can't hear that?
Can't smell that? Rona doesn't affect your hearing. Or does it?
What? No.
The government lied to me.
Holy
anyway,
crap.
How is everybody doing?
By the way, you've got a week left to order your Liquid Fluel cups.
Just remember, they come in Jason Cool or Josh Lame. Your choice. Both are the same price, though.
Either way, we appreciate it. I think we've had a nice, nice boutique amount of orders come in, and we just want to give you guys a bit more time because if we order them all at once, we get free shipping. So we're gonna give you another week.
How good is free? Anything free is good.
Oh, I love free.
Freedom.
Like my Beveragino today. Compliment of Jason.
Sugar free.
Is sugar free and money free.
Oh yeah, it is free. Oh, shit, I paid for that. What'd you do for me again?
One in? I don't know.
Okay, well that was weird. Should we rim shot?
Nice.
I'd probably turn up the rim shot.
Boom. There we go.
We need to update these sounds. We recently went onto this podcast. I don't know if it's out by the time this comes out. Probably. No, by the time this one comes out, not at the time of recording.
This one comes out tomorrow.
Oh shit!
So we're actually filming this only yesterday.
Yeah, this is pretty
this is a fast turnaround time.
We haven't hung out in 2 weeks. Like Josh has had his stuff going on. I've had my stuff going on. I know a lot of you have been asking where I've been, because I aren't uploaded onto YouTube in 9 days, probably 10 by the time I do. I fully intend to start uploading a lot though. I was having a bit of a creative struggle, if I'm honest. You know how it be.
You're like, what do I do about these shirts? Do I burn them? Do I buy new ones?
No, I'm going to buy some new ones. I'm going to buy some new different, I'm going to get pineapples. I'm going to get pineapples.
Sick.
I wonder if they've got watermelon. Oh, no, I've already got that one. I wonder if they've got apples. Yeah, that'd be cool. Apple shirt.
We're going to have to do
jeans.
Boots with the fur.
Yep. Anyway.
We're going to have to do an episode one day where we're wearing the same shirts.
Yeah, that's all right, man.
It'd be kind of funny. But speaking of sound effects, it would be cool if you put in the comments below the kind of sound effects you think we should have at our disposal. That would be
that's what we're talking about. That's what I was saying. Yeah. So we were on this thing called the West Enders, and he had these sound effects on his, which were cool. And
shout out
to West Enders. Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to Julius.
What is it? 4101.
Yeah.
For the home run.
It was cool. We
nice
shot
setup.
A few pieces of content, so we'll definitely share them as they come out. But it's
where the opening of my Pythagoras tutorial.
It was a good time, and he was a great host and really, really nice setup. Really put us to shame a little bit.
What are you talking about, man? We're great. We're sitting in your kitchen. And
I know. He had cameras coming from the roof.
Yeah.
He had the sound bed foam.
He had 4 cameras. He had 4 cameras to film it.
And he had a arcade game with arcade machine with 2,000 games built in it. How you get any work done, I have no idea.
He had a wall of Nerf guns.
Yeah.
And a wall of motivational pictures of inspirational people.
He's really got it figured out, A
3-screen computer. With also a high definition webcam and 2 soft lights on either side, so you can
and a green screen wall as well,
which was how I was in Paris and Pythagoras.
Dude, he's got it figured out. So that was
when are we getting an office?
As soon as these guys join the Patreon. But speaking of Patreon, our next Zoom hangout with our Patreon fans is this week. I believe it's this Thursday. So if you're watching this now on the day it comes out, it's in 2 days. So you have a chance to hang out with us live, if you want to. But you know what? With the sound effects, you guys could even send in some sound effects if you have like any obscure weird ones that you recorded yourself. That could be kind of fun.
Yeah. So with the live, by the way, I've noticed just a couple of people won't be able to make it. Should we do something to remedy that, or like maybe do a second one or something? Or?
Man, I'm down for a second one if you are.
Yeah, I think so. Well, I don't want them to miss out. Like, I feel like it's kind of crap to not. So I think maybe we do a second one. So we get 2 now. Congratulations, everybody!
Patreon fam, we'll actually we can't talk about it in the Patreon because you won't hear that until the day of the first Zoom. So I guess now is
probably
correct. Yeah.
But I reckon we do a second one. So there's a couple of we're gonna screen record them so that you can watch them anyway. But I think we're gonna do a second one. Maybe we'll do it on the Sunday again.
Yeah,
in the morning.
Our Sunday morning, 10 o'clock, which is 4 o'clock in New York, 7 o'clock in LA, or the other way around on the Saturday. That's cool because Jesse's a hard worker and he is a busy guy.
Plus, it would feel bad for them to miss out. Like I just would feel bad because they're so supportive, and least we can do is
be there.
So we got you.
That'd be cool. Yeah, I'm keen, and I'm keen for people to get these cups.
Mugs. They're called mugs.
We did have a really weird request. I don't know if we bring it up.
Is that the one where I fart in the mug?
Yeah, should we mention that?
Yeah, why not?
Okay, well,
funny.
Yeah, he did.
I didn't fart in the mug, but but he's saying like somebody asked them.
But for a premium fee.
Yeah, for a premium fee, I can fart in the mug.
The swamp.
What is happening? This is a place where we talk about magic, man.
That's right. Yeah, welcome back to the podcast. I'm Josh Lobito. He's Jason Ma. We're the Magic Guys.
Let's talk about some magic, eh?
Yeah.
So let's start off with this. Josh, you had something you wanted to talk about, magic related.
We've got stories from the last 2 weeks. We've done gigs and stuff that's happened at the gigs.
I met someone who watches this podcast.
How are you going to break it to Yuki?
Screw Yuki. Yeah, I met someone, but it's, sadly I forgot his real name. But I know him as Millsy. I'm going to say Millsy, but it's like mill.lzy. Anyway, cool kid. He was awesome. 17 years old and performing magic. He followed me around at the East Street markets and we did some magic for some people. He's good. He's quite good. 17 years old and talented. More talented than you, bro.
Hey, just because he learnt Pythagoras doesn't mean you have to be biased.
You know what he did though, which I always forget is a good trick until I see someone else do it, is the 2-card Monty. You know, the David Blaine 2-card Monty?
Oh, I know it.
Always forget that trick is amazing. And then someone does it and I'm like, that's right, I should probably do that. Every single time though. It happens so often. Someone does it and I'm like, why don't I use this?
It's a good trick.
Yeah, and here I am doing like Reformation and stupid shit.
Pip Matrix. And
Pip Matrix, no gimmicks, only gaffs, which is a gimmick. But it's not a gimmick, it's a...
It's harder. It looks the same, but harder to the public.
You know, I'm making a video at the moment though.
Don't lie.
Yeah.
You haven't made any for a while, have you?
No, I have actually been making a video and it's about that Pip Matrix, the sleight of hand version versus the...
nice. The non-sleight of hand version.
Yeah, it's like the whole premise of the video is like that you can, they say magic is the only skill you can buy from a box. And it's true. Yeah, and this proves it because there's a version like this. There's the Pip Trip is the original name of it. Pip Matrix, Pip Trip by Doug Conn, our boy Doug Conn. We love Doug Conn. Doug Conn's the man.
The man.
But anyway, and then Nicholas Lawrence comes out with VPM4, which is like an automatic Pip Trip. It's insane. It's very well thought out. You ever seen that hole matrix? What is it called? Matrix art. So it's like the moving holes.
Yeah, you mean the one that you've performed?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah, that is to say, I saw it. But yeah, it's
I've been seeing it.
That sort of like gimmickry now seems to be really popular. Like the card that is just like, it's like the Quantum by Caleb Morelli. Like these Tricks are very popular at the moment.
The Holy Grail.
Well, now you've got Watch This. Have you seen Watch This?
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen that.
Now imagine this, right? Imagine you're not a magician. Imagine you're Christopher Wayne.
What's up, Chris?
No.
I wish you'd watch this.
No, I just. So for those of you that don't know, Christopher Wade is one of the. He's a great magician, and he was headlined in Vegas for a bit there. So he's very talented, but he's not a sleight of hand heavy guy. But I just got this message from him one time, which I thought was funny, where he goes, "James, have you got some magic tricks that can just make me look like a magician?" And he's been a magician for years. It's his full-time career.
Yeah. And now he's a producer of shows as well. He's
so funny.
This dude's making it, man.
Oh,
he knows what he's doing.
He's amazing.
Smart man.
Great personality too. But anyway, my point was though that like these new gimmicks that come out. Well, firstly, the tricks are actually really good.
That's what I mean, yeah.
And then and literally no skill required though. You just buy it and now you're a magician. Like you could convince someone that you're one of the best magicians in the world, I reckon, by buying these, posting them on social media. And there's proof of it too. Like, there's magicians that I've met, right, who have large followings. And then you meet them in person and you're like, oh, cool, show us a trick. And they whip out a gimmick and you're like, no. Show us some sleight of hand. And then they do like some really bad sleight. And you're like,
whoa.
You're like, what the hell?
Imagine if you said, show me a trick, and they're like, all right, I'm going to run around the corner and FaceTime you, and then you're going to get your mind blown.
Right. I just want you to think of any card. I turned one over before I arrived.
But it's in my car.
You left the invisible deck in your car?
Yeah.
No. Okay, yeah.
It's hard to keep track of those buggers.
Invisible deck.
Because they're invisible. Anyway.
Great sound effects.
Help us. We need new ones.
Sounds like a bee. Like a bee. Like, but he's having a rough start.
Oh, damn.
Anyway.
Should we listen to a question?
It depends. Who's it from?
It's from Jesse.
Oh, that guy.
Jesse Chamberlain.
Of course. I love that guy.
Probably driving home from work right now. What a
Jesse's
champion.
toy reviews on YouTube, if you guys are interested in checking him out.
Formerly known as Jesse's Toy Reviews.
Oh, what's he changed it to now? It still says Jesse's Toys. It says it right there.
That's true, Jesse. What's going on, man? I think you say in this audio that it's formerly Jesse's Toy Reviews, but now you're not, but it's still in your email.
We're about to find out. Let's listen to it.
Oh, boy. Here we go.
Hey there, Magic Guys. Jesse Chamberlain here. Formerly Jesse's Toy Reviews. We recently changed our name to be more like the cool kids, like Jason and Josh. And my question for you today is,
kinky.
What do you prefer, sequential or visual magic? Do you like to build up the suspense, or do you like things to happen quickly, right in front of the eyes? And when you build your routines, do you tend to lean in one direction or the other, or do you kind of have like a storyboard concept and just kind of build around that? So I look forward to hearing from you. And remember, stay positive, stay active, and stay awesome.
Firstly, great. Thanks for sending us that.
Secondly, don't tell us what to do. Right?
You want to go? No. But you know what's funny is we were just having a conversation about building a routine in the car on the way over.
We were.
Because I was just saying that I wanted to build a new street show. Something different. Well, it's similar but different, But I wanted it to be quicker. So I have this whole thinking process going in there. And I think it's built up of both sequential and visual, because I wanted to do Ramsey's coin cylinder, which is a lovely routine. The routine I do is where you take like 3 coins, one by one they disappear, they appear inside this cylinder under a piece of cork, and then you make them come back out without touching. It's great. It's a great routine. Great crowd building. Good stuff. Good for crowd building. And then I wanted to follow that up with a chop cup routine. But before I do the chop cup routine, I would borrow a bill from someone and change it into, some other money, obviously less money or, no money. And then the end result is it's an inception show. So the bill would appear inside of a piece of fruit that would be produced from the chop cup.
Damn.
Right.
That's nasty.
But to build the whole routine up, I had to think about it in a way of... Well, firstly, the streets. So obviously different elements require different thinking. If you're doing close-up magic, for example, it's totally different. But building on the streets, yeah, it's nice to have like a good mix. So Ramsey's cylinder is one of those tricks where it has like a sequential moment where the coins are in the cylinder, but you never see them there until the very reveal of them being there. But there's the visual vanishes each time. So you've got this nice mix of visual and sequential there.
Nice.
And then it goes to the bill disappearing or changing, which is again building up to another sequential reveal where it comes out of the fruit. So it's not visual again. It's like a build up to that piece of fruit, which is later in the show, mind you, like much later. So it's the trick is coming at the end. So, you know.
You're going to do the full, like, the illusionist and Paul Daniels, like, growing the tree out of the plant and then the lemon appears. And you're like,
That would be crazy, man.
can you imagine doing that?
Could you imagine owning that?
Damn.
But it's
No, it's real magic.
what was the cost of that again? I think I remember seeing it was like 70 grand or something.
And your firstborn, I think.
Yeah, you had to sell your soul.
And
Like actually, you
and
like,
a liter of blood. This is how magic secrets work, guys. This is for the real stuff. Please buy a cup.
yeah. But then you get the chop cup routine, and before I cut open the lime, so chop cup is chop cup, right? It's visual, very visual.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you get the before I cut open the lime, though, I wanted to do a color changing knives routine. That's the sound of the knives.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, sweet. And that's 100% visual, but you know, it's like a build up of like sequential and visual. But I don't know. That's my thoughts when it comes to street stuff. What do you think, Josh? When it comes to you're the corporate guy, so how do you think of these?
In a show, if I'm doing my own show, for sure, I like to build things up, have callbacks, plan it out. I don't know if I use a storyboard, but I definitely, like when I'm at its rawest form trying to write a show, I say write a show like I'm fancy. I really don't put as much time as it sounds, but I write
Josh
down.
just goes, all right, I need a new show, Penguin Magic.
New
orders
show
a whole bunch of magic.
21.
I need an opening trick, best tricks under $100.
Not relax again. Fuck. All right, so I write down all of the effects that I want to do in the show that I've been working on or new or whatever. And then I guess I storyboard like where they would fit in the show, like what would make a good ending, what would be a good starting one, which would be like the palette cleansers, like the sort of quick interlude bits.
You think about like a build, right? Like a rise.
Yeah. And all that, and I think about, and these are just things I've learned from listening to other magicians, but I think about like the visuals of like what the audience is seeing throughout the show. Like, you know, you don't really want to have like a whole half of the show being the same aesthetic, like all the same prop or
Just cards.
yeah, or in the same.
Yeah, I mean,
in the
fuck
place.
Ricky Jay,
So-
right?
Well, the thing with Ricky Jay that he does so well, like in a lot of his shows, like he's actually in a small theater, so he's got curtains closing, so he can be like at a table, then he's like in front of the audience. So all these different aesthetics are the things that you want. So, like even if you are doing card magic, it would be that you want the visuals to be like on the roof, on the floor, cards involving other things, you know, all those kind of different textures. So. Anyway, so I think about that, and then I would go from there. But if I'm doing close up, it's more like I do, and it's very common. But I tend to think of it in just lots of three. So like I want a fast opener that I can test out the audience, know what they're like, know who's going to be good to work with, who's a and then I can
How come
do
you looked at me in the camera when you said that?
because you're.
I don't notice. You think I don't notice, but I noticed, Josh.
I think I was just looking for like your recognition of like what you're saying is correct.
Oh, come on, bro. I'm not paranoid.
Affirmation.
What? Oh,
But so and then the middle piece will be something a little bit longer, and then end with something just whoosh, just to get them, you know. But then so close up magic. Yeah, but I love building stuff up, but you have to be able to have their attention to do that, and you know you don't always have that attention, especially in street magic. You got like, you know, maybe 5 minutes of their time.
when you're approaching people, yeah.
Yeah, like when we're doing our videos and stuff. We can't be like, sit down and let me do magic for you.
Hey guys, we're just going to be filming some street magic. Is it all right if you just step into our little makeshift theater? It's just going to take 4 hours.
Let me start my monologue of why I became a magician.
Isn't that just the show, like every magician's show? I first started magic as a way to deal with my social anxiety. That sounded really insensitive.
Oh,
but it's like literally every magician's opening line, right?
And I remember Darren Brown in his interview on the Devil's Picture Book, he's talking about how when he first started magic, he would like walk around that restaurant like a real pretentious dick. Like he'd be like, he'd just look at people's tables and be like he'd just be like walking around like he owns the place with his deck of cards. And then he would approach someone and be like, let me do magic for you.
And they'd be like, no, thank you. And he's like,
and then he just goes, walks away.
those of you that are listening to this, Josh is just nodding his head.
Oh, that's right. Sorry.
But there's
it's funny. So yeah, that's it. Like, it's fun to build stuff up, but I guess the hybrid of both is.
You know, I saw
ideal.
I saw this Darren Brown moment where he was like on a television show and he's got the host holding like a book. He's doing like a book test, and he's got like he lights this piece of paper and it does this big flash, and then the host is like, oh, flash paper.
Oh,
you just see Darren's just like, yeah, it is pretty flash.
Oh boy,
so good.
I remember I did a school formal event last year, and then the next day, this kid was hitting me up because he wanted some flash paper, but he didn't know what it was. He was just like, bro, how did you make that fireball at the event? I was like, oh, it's this magic stuff that we use.
Just gave away the secret. Yeah,
he's like, oh, can you tell me like where to get it or what it's called? And I'm like, look, I don't mind telling you, but are you 18? And he goes, yeah. Oh no, first I said, when are you turning 18? He's like, oh, I'm 18 already. I'm like, okay, can you prove it? Because this is just over Instagram. He's like, yeah, I can send you a picture of my license. I'm like, all right, do it. And then he's like, but why can't you just tell me? I caught you. Never ended up telling him, but be responsible with flash paper. Please.
Yeah, dude. You know, one time I burnt my finger real bad. Do you remember that?
And you just smell cooked meat.
Did you remember though? You were like, how much flash paper did you use?
Yeah,
I was like,
that's right.
No, you know what it was? I tried to do like the strike vanish with the flash paper that you do.
Yes,
you know?
yes.
I did that, but in the motion of like doing the strike, it kind of stuck, and then when the paper hits your skin, it stays there and it burns out and then
melts. The only time I've had a really dicey moment with flash paper was when I accidentally lit a banquet table on fire. 100% true. And the reason is I was getting fancy and using the candles on the table to light the flash paper rather than me use a lighter. And the candle was encroached. Is that the right word? Encroached in like a circular glass cup with a very small top, so that when I put the flash paper in, the fire like burnt up all the oxygen, so the flame came out basically, and it just lit these plastic tassels that were on the table as decoration on fire. But I didn't know that yet, so I've gone like this, and I'm like stunned to do my things. I'm so fancy, and then someone goes, oh, and they look down, and like just the tablecloth and decorations
Can you
are
do that
slowly on
sudden
fire.
realization again?
Oh.
Like there's no shock. They're just like, the
And I'll be
table's on
honest.
fire.
I was like, do I quickly finish this routine, or do we deal with the fire now, or what do we do? And luckily, this guy had a cup of water and he just poured it on the table. And I was like, look, this happens every time. It's just,
This
a good
happens
part of the show.
every time.
I said something like, I said something to like calm their nerves. Like, don't worry. It's just
Don't worry, it's
fire.
part of the act. Yeah.
It's only fire.
The host told me to set the table on fire. They thought it'd be funny.
Good spotting.
You guys, yeah. Was it for a company?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a quick team building exercise.
Yeah. Way to problem solve, bro. Nice. We need
Nice, very forward thinking. We need people like you leading the company.
the only time
Anyone
a
who
cup
can
of
put
water was
water
used
on
that
fire.
night. Water on fire?
Anyone who can put water on fire is a genius,
I agree.
and they deserve a promotion. Unless the fire is with oil, then they deserve a firing.
Well, what about that joke about flash paper at the magic shop?
The joke or the story about how not Penguin Magic, sorry, not Piper Magic, sorry. Which one's the other one? Hey Presto, that's the one. Hey Presto burnt down from flash paper. Did you hear about that?
No.
Back in like 2015, I think it was. Proper blazed up. Oh, you have to bleep that
Damn.
out. Proper blazed up.
The one I was talking about was like,
No, but for real though, they burnt down.
damn. down. Prices are down. And
They were down after that because everything was damaged.
Well, the one I was talking about was a guy asked to see some flash paper. The guy brings out a packet. It's worth like $1,000 worth of flash paper. The guy lights it. It all burns up. And he goes, "You're going to have to pay for that flash paper." And then he says, "What flash paper?"
No.
Yeah, it's good. Because now it's gone because it burns itself up and there's nothing left.
That was the worst.
Then why is Chris Annabelle laughing? He's laughing.
No, he's
Aren't
not.
you,
He's
Chris?
laughing at me, laughing at you. Because your joke was so funny. Whoa! No, it wasn't really. It was terrible.
Well, it's not my jokes. I don't care.
Never forget how terrible that joke was. I don't know why I have a southern accent. Why do I keep doing a southern accent?
I don't know, bro.
Well, dear old me, should we answer another question?
Okay. Let's do it. So this is a first time sender in. Jenkin. Now, from memory, his audio is really quiet, so I'm going to have to crank this up. Or it's really loud, in which case we're going to have our eardrums.
Man, it's this one.
Thank you. Yes, he's good with the switcher. Here we go, Jenkin. All right, I'm going to crank this up. Here we go. Listen really carefully here.
Hello, I'm Jenkin from Hong Kong, and I really love both of your videos and this podcast. The energy is amazing, and both of you inspire me a lot. I have 2 questions that I want to ask. The first one, I think it may be mentioned in some other clips, is how and why do you start doing magic or start performing magic? Do you perform to friends and families first and then start from there? And the follow-up is, when you start, do you join any magic clubs or societies in your local community or area? Or do you just start as an individual? Again, thank you for all the good work. I really love you guys, and happy Valentine's, I guess. Bye.
Thanks for asking that question. I can't wait to hear that story that Josh always tells about how he was on a movie set and blah, 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 blah. I can't wait. It's 15 minutes long. Everybody strap in. Now, look.
Well, now that you've set me up, look, it was a cold day. And,
with Josh's story, I think we're just going to put a. We did answer this question actually, so we can put a link.
We can answer the other bit. Like, do you show friends? Because
we'll put a link in the description below to the podcast that answers the question, the first part that you asked.
Yeah,
but, because there's no point in us going into that story again.
Like, you know what? Like, the first magic set I ever got was actually a Chris Angel magic set.
Nobody cares about a Chris Angel magic set, all right?
Not anymore, but back then it was.
Have you seen the new Shin Lim one?
No, I mean
good.
I've seen it.
It's actually good.
Damn, have you got it?
No, but I was like, look, I might buy it and make content with it though because I was like, it's good. I watched Magic Orthodoxy. Do you know that? You know that? That's like a review channel for magic. They're pretty big. No, not that big. They're like 40K followers or something, but still good. But he did a review on it and he was showing some of the stuff in it and it's good. It's actually good. It's got like 3 packet tricks.
So the Chris Angel one though, I remember opening the box.
Did it come with a Mind Freak deck?
It did, yeah. How good are they?
Was it made out of like legitimate paper?
It it was pretty dodgy, but it did have some great magic secrets in it. And my earliest memories was going down, like learning the things, going down to the living room, showing my family, and then them freaking out. And then I was like, all right, this is cool.
You'd run upstairs.
Yeah.
Gotta learn the next trick.
That was a good sound effect. What are your earliest recollections of learning some stuff? Would you just show your friends? What would you do?
You know the earliest trick I remember that fooled the pants off me actually, and it's a weird thought because it came to me the other day. But there was this when I was younger. I lived in this place in Carroll Park, which is like a dodgy ass neighborhood, and it was dodgy. But the neighbors to where I lived, there was this girl there, and I did have a little crush on her actually. Yeah, but we used to sit at the backyard and just chat and hang out and smash. No, we just
crush day.
No, we used to just chat and hang out. But one day she was like, oh, I'll show you this. I want to show you something cool. And she just ran off inside the house. And I was like, okay. I was like, cool, good start. And then she came back out wearing a jumper. And I couldn't understand why, but it never even occurred to me. She was just like, I just feel a bit cold, so I put on a jumper. Middle of summer.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Magicians do that all the time.
And then what she did is she goes, oh, check this out. And she showed her hands empty. And she made a fist and she reached in her fist and pulled out this whole rope. And I was like, say what? Like it fooled the hell out of me. I was like, what the heck?
Damn.
Now I know that she just had it up her damn jumper sleeve.
That's clever though.
But prior to that, I had no clue. But that was a moment where I was like, what?
Wow.
Yeah. And then from there, now you've got me.
She tied you up.
She tied me up and we're smashed. No, we didn't smash. She might be listening to this.
Oh no.
No, she won't.
And then magic clubs.
You know what? Never been into magic clubs. Never liked them that much. We used to go to that Gold Coast one way back when.
Yeah. So I remember like I've been into magic for a little while now, and then I heard that there was a magic club, and I was like, what the hell? There's like a gathering of magicians. This is crazy.
A place where all the wizards hang
There's
out.
more than just me magicians in Brisbane. Went to this place, and I thought it was great because I could just nerd out, and there were magicians that were much better than me, like Isaac and Sean. And I was just like, this is awesome. And then they would, at the end of each meeting, people would get up and do magic to whatever the theme was for that month. And on 2 different occasions, we did a little duo something, which is fun. And we completely messed up one of them, but one of them
I messed it up because I have a booming voice.
it was a really great idea, and we just didn't execute that
1, 2. Jason, just stop.
Should we tell that story?
Ace.
It's kind of funny. It's kind of funny. So we did. So the first day, or hang on, am I remembering this wrong? Or did we do 2 separate routines, like 2 different days, or was that all in the one day? Because I remember the rope and the ring vanishing and stuff like that, and then I remember our stuff up. Was that was all in the same performance, wasn't it?
I think it was, yeah.
Damn it. Okay, so we've done one performance together at a magic club.
Well, we did know because we did a lot of competitions individually as well.
Yeah. I just compartmentate them because like this one part of it didn't go well. So we had this great idea of the theme was rope magic, I believe. And we're like, let's take this in a whole nother direction. And I start the routine by saying, I hold up a card and I go to this kid. Oh no, first Jason's like, oh, did you bring the ropes? And I'm like, no, you brought the ropes, didn't you? And he's like, oh, we must have left him in the car. So he runs out of the room, seemingly going to get the ropes and stuff. While I go, oh, well, I'll just entertain you guys. And I go to this kid, name a card. And he says, the 2 of spades. I can't forget the 2 of spades anymore. And it just says like your card on it, right? I'm like, if this is your card, will you be amazed? He's like, yes. I'm like, yeah, great. You should be amazed now. But what was meant to happen is that I then called Jason to come up, and in doing so, it sends him a code. It's a very basic idea, but I think I learned it from Miss Mag too.
Yeah.
And me calling him is meant to tell him the 2 of spades in code, because when he enters it is saying it out loud, and I talk when I hear him say
out very loud.
Yeah, and no, it couldn't have been the 2 of spades because you were counting for a while, so it must have been like the 9 or something. It was definitely a spade. And so anyway, he's meant to go very softly, like in a complete another level of the room, like 1, 2, 3. And when I hear him say 9, I go, Jason. And then he'll go through the suits. And when he says spades, I go, hurry up. But yeah, down the hall, all you can hear is 1, 2, and everyone hears it and just like has that smirk on their face. Like, we don't want to laugh at you, but we are laughing. And we know exactly what's going on. So I'm just like, yeah, hurry up, man. Like, I can hear you. I just down the hall. So we like totally messed that up. And but the rest of the routine was good. Like, we had the spectator's ring we borrow, and
so
like
funny.
We basically turned that rope. What's that rope routine called again? Like that general premise of
ringleader.
We combined ringleader with fiber optics.
Yeah,
that's it. So we did this whole thing of like combining these great different routines into one. We just messed that little bit up. So left that magic club, never went back, you know.
Yeah, no, we didn't actually. We didn't. That was the last time.
It might have been the last time.
Yeah. I think that was when we realized we were above that place.
And then our buddy Sean Piper from Piper Magic, he started up a Brisbane ASM ring.
Yeah.
And that was cool. So then there was a more local club, and I gave a talk at the very first meeting, I think it was. And then you gave a talk at the second one, I think.
Yeah, I did a lecture. Yeah.
It would be every month.
How to string perform. Number 1, do it.
And you know what
Number 2, get rich.
You know what I loved about your talk?
Tell me.
Was that you were packing up your stuff, like in your conclusion of the talk, as if you were finishing a show. Like you were talking, but you were just putting everything away. And then right at the end, you're like, yep, and that's it. And then you walk off with your trolley. You're like, yep, see ya. It was just like, you're like, it was so seamless, like an actual show. It's kind of funny. It wasn't like, thank you very much. It was like, yep, see ya. You're just off.
Yeah, off to the next one. No, it was good. I enjoyed it.
But I think, it's a great... Wow, I just had a brain fart. I think it's a great way of getting support.
New sound effect.
They're a great support circle to have, a magic club, to have people around you and to show ideas to. Like, it's great, but you just can't get too tied up in that whole circle because
you really can't live and die on other magicians' opinions because that's rubbish. That's not good.
Like, too many magicians together is a little bit
bad
toxic,
for you, man.
right?
It's bad for you. Yeah.
Yeah, because then like not only
Not only that, have you noticed that they all get stuck on the same ideas? It's like, but I saw Chris Ramsey said that this idea is better. And then, so now if you do anything other than that idea, you're like shunned. You know what I mean? And you're like, it's like, come on, man.
And what kind of happens is
That's
like,
a cool idea, but I saw a better one that you should probably try.
and people give you advice, but they're giving you advice, but also not wanting you to get ahead of them.
You know what Gary Vee used to say is, or not used to, he still says it all the time. But he says, like, if you're getting advice from someone, you should look at who you're getting that advice from. So, for example, like, some like the older guys in Magic will always offer their opinion. Now, some of them, great. Like, some of them, awesome. Like, there was a guy called Awesome Adam. I loved that guy. He was so good,
Really good.
and he was a real entertainer.
Still
And-
is.
Yeah, and but I just remember him from back then doing the 2-card Monty trick, and did like a 5-minute performance of it. It was brilliant. It was great. I really enjoyed it. And then, if you get advice from someone like him, for example, it's awesome because it's awesome Adam. But it's awesome because you get this, you get real worker advice from someone who's doing it, right? And then there's the other old guy. You know who I'm talking about. I'm not going to say it though, but like the other old guy has been doing it for, 40, 50 years or whatever. And he sucks, man. But he has so many opinions on what he thinks it should be like. And then you have to ask yourself, do you want to be that? Do you want to be that when you're older? That's like if you're listening to us talk right now, for example, do you want to be a street performer or do you want to be a corporate guy? You know what I mean? And then you have to take that advice with a grain of salt for where you want to be.
Yeah. But the thing is, like, we're genuinely giving you our real advice. We're not like holding stuff back or, telling you the wrong thing so you don't get ahead of us.
You're not holding stuff back. I've been holding, bro. I thought we were supposed to hold everything back. All right, so here's the secret to getting $1 million per show.
You get a $2 million loan and then lose $1 million.
Put it all on black.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Oh boy.
So yeah, pick and choose who you're taking advice from. Like there's a group of magicians that they meet online every week, and it consists of a few guys from around New Zealand and Australia, and they're all really helpful with sharing ideas, a bit of a brain trust. But then, I would not go to a whole magic club with just a massive range of people who I don't know and don't know what they're doing, and then ask for their advice and take it, 100% on board.
I find that like magicians are the worst when it comes to watching a routine. Like that they offer like.
Yeah, well, the problem is like we're all looking through the eyes of a magician,
That's
right?
exactly it, yeah.
Like,
because I remember I was talking to someone, no, it was actually that 17-year-old that came to Eat Streets, and he said he was learning the DPS, right? And that he's like, all the magicians always go like, oh, you shouldn't like, this motion, right? That they, you're doing the DPS, you always do this kind of motion, and it looks unnatural or whatever. But if I'm honest, man, I've never had a spectator once be like, "Hey, man, I saw that DPS.
what was this?"
I seen you diagonal palm shift that card."
That's right.
Never had a happen.
Because it's invisible.
Right? Yeah. It's just
Yeah.
like, and it's just like, even when I was learning it though, and I was doing that motion, the little, the one.
In magic or?
Yeah. Well, I do that first and then I do the magic. They're more receptive that way.
I thought you were jumping back to your rope story with the girl. I don't know what was happening. Oh, boy.
What? My wife listens to this, baby. I love you.
Does she?
No.
Okay.
My wife doesn't love me.
Makes two of us. I meant about not listening to this.
But
talking about like magician ways of thinking, I jumped on Omegle my last video, and I was doing coin magic, and I thought that coin magic through a screen would be trash because people just assume like they can't check out the coin, you know, they're not there, it's not really interacting with the person. But actually, that's just a magician way of thinking.
Yeah, and,
like,
and the coin magic, it did suck, but...
no,
it was good. It was a good.
People reacting
nice
like
vanish.
they would in real life, you know.
You know what I love about that? I love how just ballsy you are. You're just like...
That's what it is, man.
It's my absolute favorite. I was watching, I was just like, that's so good.
If your attention is good, then it doesn't matter.
No.
But yeah, I get it. For magicians, they're like, that's trash. But again, that's a magician way of thinking.
It's not trash. No, I think it's funny. Well, I'm all about bold magic because I do the, I shove the melon in the hat, right?
Yeah.
And it just reminded me of that. You're just like, check this out.
I mean, it worked, you know. But yeah, you're right.
I could hear it too. Like you can hear it in the video.
But then, this one girl was like, am I high right now?
Am I high? Are you high? Are we high?
One guy like dropped the N-word on me.
Whoa.
I felt a little conflicted. I was like, he said it, so technically I could leave it in my video.
You're like, can I?
Yeah, I was like,
should I believe? Is it racist to believe it?
Yeah. There was some serious thought that went into that, man. That was
you don't say it. You never use it. You never say it.
Yeah,
no, you just cut that whole clip, man. I'm sorry.
I was like, he said it, but it is my content, and so anyway.
So all you hear is
he was like, this dude's doing black magic. Yeah. It's like, this dude's doing black magic. I was like, thanks, bro. Appreciate it.
Black magic. Oh, it's black magic.
Yeah. But, that just goes back to Jenkins' original point of hanging out with other magicians and stuff. Like, I, in my own head, was like, that ain't going to work. But
it does help to find one. I think it's good to find one magician who's as serious as you are about doing it. And for me, that magician is you.
I thought you were going to throw it off to someone else. Thanks, bro.
For me, that magician is Joshua J.
Man.
For real though, like we ended up meeting at sort of a magic hangout at the Hilton, I think it was.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember that.
And I think there was an instant chemistry because we both really wanted to make it full-time work, right? So and I think we were the only ones because everyone else was like a hobbyist there, except for JJ and PD.
Yeah.
But other than that, everyone else was a bit of a hobbyist.
That's the only time I've seen you use D-lights.
Good times,
I'm pretty sure.
Well, guys, have you seen this?
The first time when I was still just a hobbyist and I was in America, I remember at a toy store, this guy was trying to sell D-lights. Like, they have people demonstrating the different things in this toy shop in New York. And the guy was doing D-lights, and he did D-light to sponge ball. And that was the first time I'd ever seen it. And that blew my head off. I was like, holy crap, because you're following the light and then it materializes into real.
Amazing.
And yeah.
I actually like the D-lights.
It's actually pretty good.
Yeah, people don't like the D-lights, but I like the D-lights. I've always liked the D-lights. It's a good trick. It's a good trick, man. Have you seen the D-light Miser's Dream?
Yeah.
That's cool, man.
I think we had that for our first show.
I had it for like a little while. I don't know what happened to it. I think I just lost it. I've lost so much. I've owned and lost more magic than I care to think about. Like, I used to have a guillotine.
Damn.
No word of a lie. A head chopping guillotine.
That's why it's so heavy on sleight of hand, because like you can't lose that.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. This episode is sponsored by First Platinum. Kidding, it's not really, but imagine if it was.
That would be great.
First Dad Shop sponsored this episode.
But one more week.
No, this episode is sponsored by Liquid Fluel.
We actually saw the lady that inspired this whole Liquid Fluel thing.
She didn't remember us at all.
Not at all.
Anyway, guys, it's been real. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you next time on Dragon Ball.
Thanks for listening. It's time for us to disappear now. But we'll see you again on the next episode of The Magic Guys.